I farted the other day in Morrison's, and the couple behind me thought their daughter had shit themselves. Because I heard the dad go, oh.
How old was the daughter?
It was a child. It was like a toddler, so it's like it's still acceptable.
Oh, so it was a silent fart, but you like somebody
Yeah. I dropped the bomb and ran away.
I
was a stealth bomber.
The opener.
Oh fuck, we're still recording. I shouldn't have said that. We're still recording. I'm so sorry. Whoa. Huh. Yeah. What is it good for? Let's ask Vladimir Putin. Huh? Bit of politics, you didn't expect that from us, did you? Welcome to the Three Takes of Stupidity podcast. This is the second installment of the Martial Arts Trilogy, and this time it's the Jackie Chan fighting, Chris Tucker dancing vehicle, Rush Hour. I'm joined by Chandler Monk.
Hello.
James Robbins.
Hiya.
And I'm Alex Clinton. Let's get into this martial arts film, because it is a martial arts film and no one will ever tell us any different. Let's begin.
So funny you should say that. So before we get into this absolutely not a martial arts film, what have you guys been doing this week?
Go on, Chandler.
Why do I have to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah, go on then.
I finished my Osama bin Laden documentary, and I hate Americans doing like these, because it's so dramatic. It's always like we broke into the room, and that's when they all broke into the room. And then it goes back to the Navy SEAL, and he's like, I saw Osama bin Laden, he stood before me, and I shot him, and he was dead. That's when Osama bin Laden was actually dead. When he shot him, he was dead. So fucking stupid. I hate that way of storytelling.
Have you seen that video going around of how Sky Sports News deliver the news? And it's just in, allegedly, Liverpool about to sign Florian Wirtz. Let's go to our reporter at Liverpool. Yes, as you've just heard, Liverpool are allegedly going to sign Florian Wirtz. Now back to the studio. Okay, we're here with Damien Duff. Damien, what is this about Florian Wirtz? Well, as you heard, Florian Wirtz is allegedly going to sign for Liverpool, and I think he'd bring a lot to the team. Well, there you go. That's what Damien Duff has to say on Liverpool allegedly signing Florian Wirtz.
Maybe it's just human storytelling. Maybe we're just bad at it.
Oh. Did you enjoy the ending? Were you shocked? Were you shocked by the ending of your documentary series, Alex? You did say you didn't know if he died.
I'll tell you what is a bit morbid. I was kind of hoping that we'd see some sort of like pictures, but you don't really get very much. They as the terrible storytelling continues, because it's like, and that's when we shot him, and then we put him in a body bag, and then there's just a shot of this body bag.
Like Karate Kid, put him in a body bag.
Alex, after texting someone on Hinge for a few weeks, oh, you know what? I was just trying to hope we'd see some pics.
I really wondered where you were going with that. I thought it was going to be a Peter Sutcliffe thing.
What, a mass murderer thing?
Yeah. After a couple of weeks on Hinge, he just puts him in a body bag.
Fucking hell.
Like, for the listeners at home, we're about 5.5 minutes into recording, and I have no idea how this is all going to turn out. I'm going to get us back on track and say this week, me and my partner haven't really done much or watched anything, but we did start a rewatch of Suits. And we're like 10 episodes, I think, into the first season, and it is actually just as good as I remember it being. I love Suits. It was a really good show, and I'm glad I'm rewatching it. But
has Meghan Markle tainted it for you?
No, she's a good actress in it.
She's a good actress in it.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But actually, what I should update the audience on is last week I mentioned that I was going to be playing in a charity match at Craven Cottage, which did happen. I didn't start the match. I came on about 10 minutes on, rolling subs, whatever. More importantly, I assisted with my first touch, which was great. I scored as well, which was amazing. Great feeling. And if you've been following this podcast since about March, you'd realise I fucked my knee up there, and then running around the pitch with a knee support was fun until I slid off the pitch to try and keep the ball in, and my leg went into a stanchion behind the goal, and then I had to hobble around the pitch for the next half an hour. But all in all, lifetime like dream to play at Craven Cottage achieved, and I scored. That's the most important thing. James, what have you been up to this
I'd
week?
say that's a lot nicer and more wholesome than Alex wanting to see Osama bin Laden's nudes or something.
Can I just jump in there to say that following on from Chandler's update from last week's episode, we still don't know whether a cottage can also be a fortress.
Very true. If someone in war journalism can email in and tell us, that'd be great.
Nice link there between the Osama bin Laden and war at Craven Cottage, apparently. Oh, yeah, and also the team I was playing on the charity match did win the game, which is obviously quite important as well. Anyway, James, what have you been up to this week?
What have I done?
You better have done something, because every time we want to hang out with you, you're busy.
You haven't asked to hang out with me at all this week.
That's because we assumed you were busy.
James is somehow the busiest non-busy person ever.
I just don't answer WhatsApps. So after a week of not answering WhatsApps, what have I done this week? I celebrated last week about winning a trophy. We've sacked our manager now. It is the right decision, but it's quite funny. And
we're somehow turning into a football podcast now.
Yeah, wrong podcast for that.
We definitely all know more about football than we do about films. And I've been playing Oblivion, the remaster. It's quite fun. I played Skyrim years ago when I was a teenager, even though it's been re-released about 10 times. And I never played Oblivion, so the remaster came at a good time. Yeah, it's fun. It's fine. Play it if you like those games, but I'm not exactly wild about it. So yeah, really good stuff from me here today.
That was a solid review. Play it if you want. You don't have to. I'm not in charge here.
That's kind of like the reviews we give for our own films on this podcast. Yeah, it's all right. Watch it if you have time. You'll have fun with it. Why not?
You have to watch Rush Hour, or we will send men round in the night. It's time for some housekeeping. Quick synopsis on the film. I think this one's from Rotten Tomatoes, because it's slightly rambly. But I'm going to do it anyway. A loyal and dedicated Hong Kong inspector teams up with a reckless and loudmouth LAPD detective to rescue the Chinese consul's kidnapped daughter, while trying to arrest a dangerous crime lord along the way. IMDb gives this film a 7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 62 on the tomato meter and a 79 on the popcorn-o-meter. This film is available to watch on Netflix, and actually all three of these films, the Rush Hour 1, 2 and 3, are available on the platform. Did we all enjoy it? Did we have fun?
I like Rush Hour, but it didn't hold me this time. I got a little bit bored, I'm not going to lie. But I like Rush Hour is a funny film. It's a good little 90 minutes. I was going to say it's a family film, but it's not a family film.
It's definitely not a family film.
It's definitely not a family film. Don't watch this with your children.
Do not watch it with your children.
Unless you want to send your kids to school spouting racial slurs and imitating foreign people.
Yeah, they will be the coolest kids in the playground. That is unfortunate.
And if you didn't do a TikTok recently, we could just convince everyone that you're a fucking boomer.
I had a lot of fun. I was quite happy when Alex chose this, because I had a lot of fun going back to rewatch this. I do slightly agree with James. It didn't hold me as much as I remember it.
I enjoyed it. It's a lovely little film.
Heartwarming.
Heartwarming.
Yeah, it's definitely not heartwarming.
Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
It does. It's nice to see a little bit of friendship mixed in with some karate kicks and a lot of hi-yas and a lot of those noises.
And that's as deep as it gets as a martial arts film. Because it's not a martial arts film.
It's a better martial arts film than fucking Karate Kid. At least they're connecting here.
Peek behind the curtain. James has been so annoyed that Alex picked this film because he's like, it's adamant it's not a martial arts film. Yet everywhere that categorizes film, like the second or third category is martial arts.
It's just not a martial arts film. It's a film with some fighting in it, which is a bit cleaner than your average Marvel film, so it looks like martial arts.
He's annoyed it wasn't done by an animator.
I'm mad it was picked because I wanted to watch Kung Fu Panda.
You could pick Kung Fu Panda.
Nah. As far as buddy cop films go, this is pretty standard. I mean, they're not buddies to start with. They have to become buddies. They really don't want to work with each other to begin with. No one wants to work with James Carter, Chris Tucker, no one. Even though, to me, at the start of the film, I thought he was pretty good at his job. He did blow up a car in public.
I think it's the other way around. Carter doesn't want to work with anyone. He sees himself as a bit of a renegade cop, does everything by himself. And you are right. He does get 2 other uniformed police officers shot. And as Chris Penn, who's fantastic in this film, but is only in it for like 5 minutes of screen time, rightly shouts as he's trying to drive away, going, "Don't shoot at the car, there's a fucking bomb in the back."
The guy dropped out.
Sound piece of advice, that.
I was like, he did great.
After he blows up the car, did you see the little Michael Jackson impersonation that he does with
So
the little
good.
MJ music in the background, which is cool because Chris Tucker was actually really, really good friends with Michael Jackson.
And that's how he gets the dance moves so spot on. Michael Jackson was always dancing in the middle of the freeway.
I heard he was the choreographer for this film. It's his brightest work. Proudest job.
He was. He was on choreography and Bruce Lee was on the fight scenes.
Yeah, I love spreading misinformation.
But I think it's really good. Like, as you say, James, like, well, most buddy cop films, which this is definitely like a buddy cop martial arts film.
Reach.
They start off, it's like the Odd Couple. They all like buddy cop films are always odd couples because it's always about people like being different. And when we get the inciting incident of the daughter being kidnapped, like the daughter that Jackie Chan's just really close to for some reason, and then he comes over, I thought their first scene together, even though Carter is shouting at him because he doesn't think he speaks English,
Yeah.
which is hilarious. Do you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Hilarious. I'm sorry, but it's so funny.
God.
James, don't pretend like you didn't spend your whole trip in Asia doing that.
No, I did not. I was saying the correct words or speaking English.
It is genuinely hilarious. I thought their chemistry together was incredible between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. I thought the chemistry was really good.
I did like the line, I let people who like to talk. So I find out how full of shit they are.
That's what Alex does on this podcast for me and you.
Yeah, probably.
I really liked the chemistry. I loved like the list of actors that could have played Carter's role. There were so many people like Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle would have been good.
Dave Chappelle would have been a bit risky for a 12 rated film.
But more risky than some of the things that are said looking back 30 years later.
I mean, this is the beautiful contrast of them trying to get to grips with each other's culture. There's 2 completely different ways of life, and they're just trying to fit into each other's, not for like a permanent fixture, just, a little dabble. Doesn't go very well.
It's the conflict from others that bring the 2 together. I mean, as we've talked about meeting Carter and stopping that little deal and blowing up the car, and then Jackie Chan's character Yan Li, we introduced to him as he takes down a criminal organization and recovers artifacts, lost Chinese artifacts that the country had lost for a long time, although someone escaped. And then the Chinese consul moves from Hong Kong to America, and his daughter goes, and then the daughter's kidnapped. But ultimately, then it's pretty obvious that the people that stole the kid are the same people from China.
Well, yeah, you see that. Like it's the very famous scene of the girl in the car singing,
What by every night?
I can see the tiger fire. Please comment on this podcast if you want to see us recreate that scene. For a TikTok.
Which one of us has been the little girl?
No, I'm the little girl.
I think one of us starts, and then we all actually have recorded it.
Fair enough. And then, yeah, we see the guy that gets away in the first scene when Jackie Chan, like, he runs away. Like, he's the one that kidnapped her. You see him take her. So you know that this is intrinsically linked.
And it's during the scene where the girl is singing that the people looking after her were shot dead, which came out of the blue a little bit. Jackie Chan, Yan Li wasn't going to be in the States, but then he flies over because Su Young has been kidnapped. But the FBI are like, nah, fuck that guy, and we're going to take this guy because I think the LAPD wanted to play a joke on Carter. These guys aren't fucking doing shit, and so Carter's just going to babysit Jackie Chan, and that's That's the deal. And that's what draws our pair together. And that's why they don't want to be around each other at all. We've just been introduced to Carter and he doesn't want to fucking work with anyone.
But he's so in, like, still does it because he really, like, he says that his dream is to go work for the FBI.
Yeah,
like,
twerking for the FBI.
It's going to the show. And he's like, everyone hates the LAPD. Everyone, even the FBI say they fucking hate the LAPD.
I love his line where he says, even my own mother tells people I'm a drug dealer because she's so ashamed of me working for the LAPD.
They obviously... I did enjoy that. We have the little goose chase with Lee trying to escape Carter on the tour bus, hanging off and then Carter ends up hanging off the sign, handcuffing him to the wheel of the car, etc. But at what point were they actually like? At what point were they brought together? At what point did they want to work with each other? Do you think?
I think it's much later on in the film when they finally get the call of like, okay, we want $50 million.
Yeah.
And they go to the drop, and like Lee basically chases, like the building explodes.
How obvious was that, by the way? How obvious was it that the building? Because I was like, there's been the whole plot thread has been someone's buying a load of bombs in LA, and now there's a dodgy building. I was like, that's gonna blow up. That's 100% gonna blow up.
Yeah, but it's so American to just send people in there anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you know what they're like.
But I hate that in films. Like, it's like the arrogance of people in charge. Like, I'm not going to listen to you because you're a fucking moron. And it's like, well, he just says the right thing that's going to happen. And I think there's a respect of like when they go chasing after the guy and they sort of help each other out. And then they come back to the council and go, look, we didn't do this. It's not our fault. We knew that the bomb was going to go off and you weren't going to get your daughter back from this. So
the whole chase through the building is basically where Lee sort of finds Carter's use, where like they get the detonator. And he's like, oh, well, this guy, apart from just knowing someone who runs a bar, and I just go there and hit people with pool cues, he actually knows some useful people in his former partner, the bomb disposal lady. And he actually gets some worth out of him to actually push the investigation forward. Because up until this point, those two haven't really done very much in the investigation. Well, them and the FBI haven't really done very much.
That really, yeah, exactly, because that really pushes, like, that bit really pushes the story forward, because, like, they go to the woman who's the bomb disposal, like, trainee, and goes, it's a detonation device, and that leads them back to Chris Penn, the original person who was going to buy them the bomb, and then he gives up that it was Juntao, and which Chinese restaurant to find him at.
Yeah, it's crazy that this guy who was just going to sell C4 has got so much info on the Chinese crime underworld, and was just keeping it to himself. He's like, this could get me out of jail 5 years sooner, but now I'm gonna hang on to it until someone asks.
Snitches get stitches.
Classic. I think the two characters in Carter and Lee, I think we see their different skill sets, and that does help bring them together. I think that's quite nicely done, because I don't know, I felt like Carter does he likes to show off. Absolutely likes to show off. And I think when he puts on that act meeting his cousin, who's the gangster, even at that point, Lee is still trying to escape him. I think it's still something a little bit impressive, like him going in. Hey, he's not a completely clean cop. He's trying to find a way to find the kid and, break in on the investigation, because ultimately he wants to prove himself. And then obviously Lee can fight. I think that's probably what he brings to it mostly. And I think the lead FBI agent Warren, I think he was right that, you're not involved in this because you know the girl, you're too emotionally in on it. But I think Carter talks a lot, but he's got the gift of the gab. He does it on the phone when the 50 million. I think he proves himself a number of times, and I think that they probably get each other's respect through that as well.
Just talking of the phone call with the ransom, I really, really loved Chris Tucker's line of, after he's like, you want 20 million in 20s, 20 million in 50s, 10 million in 10s. And then he goes, and you want fries with that?
No, he goes, you want any fives with that?
No, fries.
No, he says fives.
He says fives. He does say fives.
I thought he said fries.
No, it's funny because he says, you want any five?
No, I thought it was fries.
He says, do you want any fives with that? But in do you want any fries with that fashion?
Yeah, it's funny because he says fives, Charlotte. That's the joke.
Should we just explain the humour to him?
Basically, right?
Oh my God, I thought he said fries.
So, Chandler, notepad out. Right, basically. Yeah,
shut up, I get the joke.
There's this phrase.
But either joke.
There's a phrase.
Shut up.
There's a phrase. I'll get the whiteboard.
Shut up. Either joke is fine.
With that.
Fuck off. Either joke
There's
is
these numbers. They're talking numbers, 10s, 20s. And he goes, do you want 5s with that? And basically, you see 5 sounds like fries, right? And that's why it's really funny. That together equals humour and ha-ha-has for us. Do you get it?
dickhead.
I love that you loved it anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really funny.
I love fries.
I do love fries.
Same.
But I think you're right, Jay. Like, go back to it. I think you're right. Like, he does, like, I think every time, like, Jackie sort of thwarts him, like, he escapes with the steering wheel in his hand and gets to the console by himself and just defeats everyone because he's Jackie Chan, and the martial arts in this film is great. Like, all those sort of action scenes, I think those set pieces are all really well done.
They hit so much better than the Karate Kid. I think there's 14 years between the two movies.
Yeah,
no, I think you're right there.
And they just worked out how to connect a punch in a movie, because Christ alive. A thing about Jackie Chan with his fight scenes is he took note from Fred Astaire's filming dance techniques. So Fred Astaire was being filmed and a lot of the shots were close up of him dancing, but it didn't feel like it connected with the audience, didn't feel authentic. So they did go to a wider shot showing his full body. And Jackie Chan likes to use not too many cuts, not too many close-ups, and you see the body so you can see the full action. And I think that was probably, really well executed in the scene in the bar where he's fighting with the pool cues and stuff. You can really get there's a lot of motion and space to play with for him to express himself, and he just is a master of the craft.
I also think that is true of every fight scene in this movie. Like they like in like the restaurant, the final scene, like the space utilization, like they design the sets really well to do that.
Yeah. I think he plays with the space in the set really, really well. As well, like you say, I think moving around the scene, all this is choreographed, and it takes experts to do this, and he is one of them. I imagine there's plenty of people all over the world in filmmaking, in stunt doubling and everything, that probably pay homage to Jackie Chan or suggest that his work brought them to where they are today. And if there's someone you want to study for it, it's probably a good one.
It is very martial arts, though, it's particularly in the bar scene. Everyone that Jackie Chan is fighting instantly has heightened fighting moves ready to go.
Yeah, you're right. There are these people in the bar who have never looked at martial arts in any way, but then instantly know it. Like, there are people who are boxing like hand to hand, but they're just like, right, fuck it, let's throw some kicks in there.
Someone's generalizing, cultural generalizing. They could be martial arts masters.
They go from just playing pool to one guy has instantly worked out how to use a pool cue as a very lethal weapon. He's holding it correctly. Like, normal people, if you had hold of a pool cue, would just start swinging aimlessly. This guy has got it perfectly, like an axe, and is just wielding it and like actually trying to take on Jackie Chan.
I feel like I could do that.
I don't think you could in a fight situation.
I've had a baseball bat before.
Now that we've had this discussion, obviously you would become a lot more lethal with the pool cue. But I think the average person would just start waving a pool cue around.
You've explained it. You've given me some training right now, so that next time I'm fighting with a pool cue, that I know exactly what to do. Thank you, Jackie Chan.
Pool on, pool off.
It's funny you say that they're all so good at martial arts all of a sudden, because obviously the Karate Kid just managed to write that in the film by shoving a big dojo in town. But what they didn't explain is why everyone was still so fucking good at football. No football in this film, unfortunately.
I also think though, like in this film, what I really enjoy about not only Lee and Carter's friendship and relationship, but also is the range that Jackie Chan brings to these types of roles. Like his heart, like when in that scene they're interrogating Chris Penn about the bomb device. Like the way he gets across that I don't give a shit about you, I don't give a shit about Carter, I give a shit about this little girl. Now tell me what the fuck you know. Like, I think that emotion is actually really brought out from him.
I think Jackie Chan often gets similar roles. I often think he plays the same character very often, but some doesn't. That's not to discount the quality of his acting. You're definitely right. He definitely plays roles with a lot of heart. I imagine that he struggled definitely in his early films in the West, because I don't think he spoke English that well, at least from researching this film. They were commenting when he first met Chris Tucker, they didn't. How this is going to be genius. He doesn't speak English was something said about Jackie Chan and why the film would be good. Not that I couldn't tell that.
The whole thing of Chris Tucker shouting, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That is based on what Chris Tucker said after their first meeting.
Yeah. This is mental.
He just wasn't sure, like, if he actually spoke it that good of English. And Jackie Chan has said that he's embarrassed by his English skills in this film.
I don't think he needs to be. I think they get around it pretty well, to be honest. He has a whole career though in Asian films before his Western movies, and I imagine in his own language where he's comfortable, I imagine that he can play a multitude of different roles as an actor.
Just following on from what Chandler said, yeah, I mean, Jackie Chan, he didn't like the movie. He says that he still doesn't, but he can respect what he did at the box office. But he didn't really like the way he was speaking English. I don't know if this is like one of his first English-speaking roles in a film, but I thought he was fine.
I thought his English is better than my Mandarin, that's for sure.
Shit.
Shut up, James.
James was doing that the whole time in Vietnam, and they were all just confused.
No, wrong word.
Why is this man speaking Chinese to us?
What was thank you?
James is being a massive racist all the way through Vietnam.
One of the countries to say thank you was Arkun.
He also didn't understand what Chris Tucker was saying, which I kind of get. There were certain moments that I didn't really understand what Chris Tucker was saying.
He was just shouting with pizzazz.
I mean, you talk about Jackie Chan's range. Chris Tucker's facial expressions, that I would relate it to Rowan Atkinson in like the wide eyes, the big mouth, there's the whole the dancing in the middle of the street. He's very good at physical comedy.
But he's very good at physical comedy, absolutely. And I think both of their being quite physical leans into them to it kind of lets them own the scenes really well because they're flamboyant. You want to see what they're doing at all times.
I really like that because we've spoken a lot about like the period of the movie where they like are clashing with each other, but when they start to respect each other, I think like you see the turn in the film when they're standing outside the restaurant and they're you know trying to sing the song "War" to each other and "Yah," not "Yah," it's "Yah." I quite enjoyed. I think that when they start respecting each other and actually like really like working together, it also brings another level to the movie.
But that is the contrast in cultures. Like I think in that, I don't know if it's that scene or like the scene just before it where Lee takes Carter for some food, some Chinese food.
Yeah, it's the same scene.
And he's like, I don't want this greasy shit.
But then immediately says, let's get some chicken wings, which is also some greasy shit.
Got any chicken wings?
But I love he's like, oh, this eel's really good. And then he goes into the restaurant and goes, hey, give me some more eel. You got any good eel? That's like he's immediately like, fuck this, I love Chinese food. I also really enjoyed in that scene where they're like doing the really childish thing of like what happens on playgrounds when they're like, well, my daddy arrested 10 people in one night. My daddy did 20. My daddy caught a bullet with his bare hands. No lying. Just each of them trying to outdo how good each of their fathers are. It's also, I really enjoyed that scene though when they're talking about war. Like, it's also that bit where Jackie is trying to impart some martial art knowledge on like Lee is trying to impart some martial arts knowledge on Chris Tucker, like how to steal the gun away, how to that. Like. I also really enjoyed that when they start dancing to the war song, Jackie just basically does some karate moves instead of actual dancing. But I really enjoyed this tiny little training montage.
Yeah, it was cute. I enjoyed it.
And I also like the next scene is when they come into the restaurant and have a big fight in like the roof of the restaurant. I don't know, the upstairs of the restaurant. I thought that scene is probably the best depiction of martial arts in the film. All the chairs being moved around, the rug being flipped over and used as a prop, like all the trying to get the gun back and being flipped around and everything. I thought all of that was really good. I think all the martial arts scenes are all the martial arts scenes are really engaging and really well done.
They are. I think it's just very clean. It's very polished.
There is also a Karate Kid theme with this movie. Jackie Chan has clearly taught Soo Young a bit of martial arts. When she's getting kidnapped, she kicks, what was his name? Sang?
Yeah.
Yes, Sang. She kicks Sang in the face. does a quick little flip, gets out of the car, starts running. Admittedly, running's not part of martial arts, so we can't pin her down on that one. And thus she gets taken because she's only 9. She can't really run that fast. And a little bit later on, when she gets out of the van and she's still wearing the little C4 vest, I think she does a bit more there. So there's kind of a Karate Kid. Lee has clearly taught her some little flips and tricks. She's using those little flips and tricks to fight off the baddies. Doesn't go very well. She's only a child. That's fine.
He does teach Carter how to steal the gun, and Carter does do it.
He does it
later on in the film, which he's so surprised that it worked.
I love that acting though from Chris Tucker when he does it. Because he's like, he does it, and then, you didn't know I could do that, didn't you?
The gun is pointing at you now, bitch.
I don't think it was really anything martial arts, but on Carter, I think he was obviously better with a gun generally, and I like the little standoff he has. And then they both drop their guns, and they've both got other guns, and then he just like drops to the floor and fires through his pocket or something and takes out the bad guy, winning like the kind of Western standoff, which is quite fun. But Carter was teaching Lee dancing, but I don't think Lee used dancing at any point in the film, really, which is a shame. I feel like because Carter used martial arts, there should have been a scene where Lee somehow uses dance to get out of a situation.
I think that is actually in like the second film, you know, like thinking back. There is a bit where Lee has to dance away, basically.
There is.
There is, isn't there?
There is. I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah.
James, go watch the second film and let us know.
Okay. And then there's the final fight, which I really, really liked him avoiding the artifacts that we found out by the end of the film, that the evil dude that we met, they all knew who he was, but he was like undercover, and he was like, it was me that owned all these artifacts that you stole from.
It was the English imperialist.
Yeah, it was the physical embodiment of the British Museum.
And also star of the Full Monty. Wilkinson.
I did really enjoy like watching Jackie Chan save all the artifacts. I thought it was a nice little touch.
Was so funny.
Because it is so obvious, like, if you watch this film, like, without that, like, Jackie Chan just kills all the other guys. Like, he's so much better at fighting than everyone else, but he's the only one that cares about saving all the artifacts. And it is mentioned a few times in the film that Jackie Chan has a real, like, Lee, the character, has a real, like, connection to these artifacts. Because, like, Chris Tucker makes a joke going, God, how much were all these worth? And Jackie Chan just goes, no, whoa. That's my history you're talking about here. Right, that means something. It's not just the value of it. Oh, no, that was it. Chris Tucker says something. Oh, one of these things will look really good in my bathroom. And Jackie Chan goes, no, hang on, that's my history you're talking about here.
Yeah. I liked, then Carter does say as well, nothing will happen to those, nothing's going to happen to the artifacts, don't worry about it. And then one of them, Jackie Chan saved a load of them and then just got shot.
Yeah.
Giant, beautiful vase got shot. I did laugh.
With an immense core strength as well. He's holding it up with his back while some bloke's just kicking. This is how you know it's a martial arts film as well. The bloke is just kicking him in the chest. Rather than just shooting him, which is what would happen in a police movie, he just keeps kicking him in the chest. And he just takes it. He's just holding up this thing, fighting with two hands, getting booted in the chest. You'd put it back and just...
That is the epitome of a martial arts film. There's also really good. There's like we've commented on like a few of how good some of the lines are. There's a few good lines in this film, in this bit, where Jackie Chan actually shoots the Zhang, the guy who got away from China, and just goes, "Wipe it off, you dead," which I really enjoyed. Which is a callback to when he got like punched out by him earlier in the film. But then when Ken Wilkinson falls from like the roof trying to save his money, Tom Wilkinson, sorry. When Tom Wilkinson falls from the roof of the show and like trying to chase his money, hits the water and And Chris Tucker goes, well, he dead.
That is
Doesn't go to check. Just goes, he dead.
woo. You know he did.
I like the money falling out, and then Chris Tucker's character Carl was just like pocketing all of it. He's like, "Thank you, Carl."
Yeah, he wasn't trying to help. He wasn't trying to help Jackie Chan. Just going, fuck this. This is my money now. I've got 20 million in 20s, and he's got some 5s with it now.
Something that annoyed me in this movie, though, was we had Johnson, Carter's, the person that's meant to be his police partner, but isn't, because he doesn't want a partner. He actually calls her for help at the end of the film. They've seen her training to be in the bomb squad early on and failing. And in both scenes, when she's cutting the wire on the
Soo Young,
the kidnapped daughter, and it annoyed me as well when she was training. But did you notice how she's not trying to work out any of the cables and why that would be the one to cut? It's all chance. She just in both instances is bouncing around them like red, blue, and then yellow, and not trying to use any of her smarts to work out why that cable would diffuse it. She's just chancely cutting one. That girl could be a Jackson Pollock painting because of her fucking
Second week in a row, he's mentioned a random artist.
Fucking with her approach to bomb defusal. Christ.
Yeah, but it's credit to her that she's willing to put herself in that situation where she's like, if you explode, I will explode with you.
Yeah.
I feel like they tried with some of the script to be like she goes, yeah, this is a switch, a dead man switch. If we take this off, it's just gonna go. That's not what dead man switch is, but either way, if we take this off, it's just gonna blow up. Blah blah blah. And then you're like, okay, cool, yeah, she's learnt something. And then she goes to cut it, and I'm like, for fuck's sake.
You're just like, she ain't learned shit.
She's not learned anything. She's approached this the same way as her in her testing bay.
So after like all the money saved, the daughter's saved, the artifacts are saved, did you enjoy the ending? Like, of Carter rejecting the FBI. The FBI only offer him a job because he showed them up. The FBI only offered him a job because he actually broke the case.
The Warren guy in the FBI was such a twat as well.
I hated the FBI. But I really enjoy him rejecting it and going, shove it up your ass. And then goes on holiday to Hong Kong. I really enjoyed his experience of first class with Lee.
You know what I really enjoyed in this film? The pre-9/11 of it all. The FBI just wandering up to the gate. Him picking Lee up from the airport on the tarmac. the airport. He's not gone through any security. He's allowed to just drive his car into the airport.
You can do that for private
pick up
jets
the guy.
now. You could do that.
There's no way you could do that.
But it's not a private jet. Those were commercial those were commercial flights.
No, the one that Lee came in on, where he picked him up on the tarmac, was...
No. I think he means the one in the middle of the film where where Lee's going to be sent back to Hong Kong.
And that one,
and
that one.
He comes back on an engineer. I'll be honest, I didn't think of that, Alex, and that is really funny.
No one had to take off their shoes.
Yeah, no one had to take off their shoes. He actually dressed up.
No one had to stand like a scarecrow in that funny machine.
He just comes up the plane at one point. Is like, look, the wheel is broken. If we take off now, this whole plane's going to crash into the side of a mountain. There's nowhere we can fly. If we take off now, everyone's going to just be up my arse. It's not worth it. Pre-9/11, it was so easy to do anything.
And he's not banned from flying either. Because at the end of the film, he's got first class.
18 hours next to Jackie Chan just going, wow, yeah, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. There it again.
I love the idea of people getting on flights with Jackie Chan now going, can you sit next to me?
And sing what? Yeah.
Chandler, I really like that he didn't join the FBI. I thought that was a really nice scene because... there was one emotional scene, I think. Cut had one where he told Lee about his dad who was killed as a police officer in a routine traffic stop for no reason, and his partner didn't do anything. So it explains why he didn't want a partner. He's like, can't trust him, what's the point? And why he kind of wanted to move to the FBI and didn't really like how the LAPD worked because ultimately his father died. But then Lee, obviously he was a police officer in Hong Kong, kind of showed him that, your role in the LAPD is good. You can do good work here, blah, blah, blah. So then at the end of the film, watching him stick it to the man, stick it to the FBI, who were just dicks to him the entire time. And you're right, he just showed them up. He showed them up completely. They couldn't do their job. He did their job. He did interfere with them a few times, but it was clear that their plans were never going to work. They got all their blokes killed. Yeah, I really liked it. I was like, good.
I also did think then he then ruined it in that last conversation with Lee when he just goes, "You're going to show me some of those beautiful Chinese women, right?"
Oh, gosh. Yeah,
yeah. Let's get to the massage parlor. I didn't think he ruined all of it with that, though.
Yeah, that's definitely right.
It's the perfect time in the show for our takes. And now, obviously, last week we introduced the big red box, the lucky big red box for picking out the names for who goes first on the takes. As I said last week, it's got a big number 7 on it. It's got a little dragon, and James has stuck a little peace and love sticker on it this week. That's nice. And Chandler graffitied on a penis. Let's have a look who's going first. First name out the big red box is Chandler Monk. Ooh.
Oh,
It's not very lucky for you there, Mr. Monk. Take it away.
No, it's not very good. I think overall, this film is a fun watch. It's got some great acting in it. Like, I do think, as I said earlier, the chemistry that you see between Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in this film is really, really good. Like, you can tell that they were having fun making this movie, and that's why they in turn went on to make 2 more sequels. And I'm pretty sure a 4th one has been in the mix for years. Like, they're like, I think it might, I don't know if it's been definite confirmed, but there could be one coming out next year if I remember rightly. So yeah, this film is a lot of fun. I do think you have to accept that it is made of a time in the late 90s. Like, yes, the roles that they play are quite stereotypical of what people in the 90s were, but still a lot of fun. The action and the martial arts is really well done, as James commented on how Jackie Chan likes to sort of choreograph the martial arts. I think they hit very well. They're very entertaining action scenes. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good fun watch. I've said the word fun about 50 times in the past minute. So yeah, just if you are going to watch this film, just accept it for what it is and have fun. James?
Yeah, I think trying to hit on a few comments that I would have. It's definitely a film of 1998. The comedy is very much playing on some very dated racial stereotypes, which you have to get past. Still a funny film. I wouldn't go out recommending it to people left, right and centre. If it's on Channel 5 on a random weekday and you don't know what to watch and Rush Hour's on, watch it. That's how I'd recommend to watch Rush Hour. Because it's worth a watch, but I don't think you should go out your way to watch it unless you really want to see the trilogy. If you love them from when they came out, like I enjoyed them from when they came out, I would like to watch Rush Hour 4. Alex is moaning because I stole his Channel 5 thing. I in my subconscious didn't even realise that I stole it. However, and I've said it a few times during this record, I don't think this is a martial arts film. I think it is a comedy buddy cop film with martial arts in it. But it's not a wholehearted martial arts movie. I think even Kung Fu Panda would have been a better pick here, in my opinion. I think that would have fit Alex really well. But it's an enjoyable watch. We sit here and we say all the time that good 90-minute movie. Yeah, 90 minutes. It's not groundbreaking, but the fight scenes are excellent. The martial arts that is in it are really, really good. The fight scenes are very enjoyable. Jackie Chan is a master of his craft, as I said about 3 times during the record. Yeah, fine. I'm not going to... And Chandler asked me to go watch Rush Hour 2 to confirm something for us. I'm probably not going to do that.
So I'm just going to add one last thing to my take, is I think Rush Hour 2 is a better movie than Rush Hour 1. So I actually think people need to watch this to then go and appreciate Rush Hour 2 more. But anyway, Alex, what's your take?
While we were waiting for you to come on, Alex actually did say the exact same thing. Rush Hour 2 is better than 1.
I did say that, yeah. I also did say that 3 is not very good.
And then I said, why don't we do Rush Hour 2? And then he said, I'd probably moan that we're not doing the first one. And he's probably spot on there. Unfortunately, he's right. But yeah, that's my take. Good film. Fine. Yeah, good. Watch it. Cool. Bye.
Alex, what's your take?
My take, I'm not going to say something as lazy as James's comparison that it should be on Channel 5. That's really lazy, whoever would say that. I agree with Chandler. I really like the chemistry of the two characters. I think that it's Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan at the absolute... Well, actually, it's Chris Tucker at the peak of his powers. It's Jackie Chan just doing his general powerful thing. There's so many laugh-out-loud moments in this film. There's more than I remembered. But there were so many moments where I really was laughing. I know that's not really what you're meant to do to a martial arts film. Martial arts isn't meant to be funny. They're just meant to wax on and wax off each other. But it is very funny. The karate and kung fu fight scenes, all forms of martial arts, were of a very high standard. Obviously, it's a Jackie Chan movie. They're never going to be below par. But the fight choreography in the bar, in the upstairs of the Chinese restaurant, and even... when they're fighting it out over the Antiques, which is one of the more stranger episodes of Antiques Roadshow, but also a bit of choreography that we overlooked in the main bit of the pod was Jackie Chan falling and Chris Tucker catching him with a really long, like, I don't know what you call it.
He's just falling.
It's martial arts. It's martial arts. It's martial arts.
But that trope, I just remembered that thing at the end of them catching on a sash is like repeated in number 2 and 3, I'm pretty sure.
I think it is. I think it is in... Oh, yeah, no, yeah, in 3, they jump out of the Eiffel Tower with tablecloths. Anyway, I need to finish my take.
But it's also... But I'm also pretty sure, just on a complete side note, that Jackie Chan, in another... martial arts-ish film of Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights with Owen Wilson does the same thing. They like jump out of big buildings at the end and are caught by like long sashes.
So maybe it's a Jackie Chan trope.
Maybe it is, yeah.
We also have a British villain, which is sort of gone. We're not really villains anymore. It's a bit hurtful. We've spent hundreds of years getting that reputation together, and it will not be taken away by some terrorist groups. Okay? You have to work really hard. Do you know how many people the British Empire subjected to get that? My God. Anyway, British villain. We're all very happy to see that. Classic. We love it. Bit of, Hans Gruber. Nah. And, of course, the cherry on top of the beautiful karate cake. It's a 90-minute.
Oh, my God. Oh, great. That's brilliant.
That is all we have time for on this one. The artifacts have been saved, the C4 has been diffused, and we've saved China-US relations. It's that easy, President Trump. It's that easy. Next time, it's the final part of our martial arts trilogy. It's James's pick, Enter the Dragon. James, why have you chosen this movie? Why have you burdened us with this?
I feel like we need to do an absolute classic and one of the most famous martial arts films of all time, and we should probably do something with Bruce Lee. So Kung Fu Panda will have to wait. So we'll watch, I think we'll watch one of the most influential martial arts films of all time with one of the most famous martial artists of all time. It's probably right.
Excellent stuff. Well, it's goodbye from Chandler.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from James.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. And we leave you again with one piece of advice. Don't smoke weed in front of police officers and claim it's tobacco. It's bad for you.
It's a single weed. It's a single weed. Bye.
Don't forget to rate, review, and share the podcast. It really helps us grow. Follow us on all our socials, plus our individual Letterboxd accounts. The links can be found in the description at www.hopwithtwops.bio/3takes or search for 3 Takes of Stupidity on most platforms. Please send us your film and series suggestions on our hot page or to 3takesofstupidity@gmail.com. Thank you and hope to see you soon.